I think anything in depth I find interesting, or if like people care about something, then I'm going to care about it. Like I think that's the kind of parallel between all these kind of craftspeople. There is that if the thought process, you know, it's all these wee things that you don't think about as a maybe as a joiner wouldn't think about, that a watchmaker would have to think about. It's also just a really interesting craft. You don't find watchmakers every day. You bump into them every day. The company is expanding. There's obviously a huge demand for the watches. I think the idea is that they need a new premise, new kind of purpose-built space. So we've been brought in to help build that space. So this is linseed oil. We bought two colours off them, a kind of natural colour with no dye and a whiter dye, and we've mixed them together to get this tone here. It kind of sprung from there being loads of holes in the floors from all the other trades coming in and having to run their wires or their pipes in, and so there was kind of odd shapes in the floorboards. Now we could have put them back, but we decided to maybe make it into a bit of a feature piece. Yeah, being a part of it all, and I like how nothing's like ideas are very free flowing, which is a real change to what I've been used to working in. And yeah, I suppose just like the fine-tea. So I did guitar making before all of this, and so it's nice to see detail and people care about detail. Right, okay, so these after these floor tiles are done and we send them away on site, we'll start working on the cabinets that are going under the sinks in the enamelling room. So there'll be lots of tongue and groove panels across, and then there'll be doors like this is like just a mock-up, but doors like that, and just for shelving and just storage underneath all the sinks. And then after that we'll be on to making the doors. So we have two types of doors. We'll have the glass doors that we have already down the stairs, and then we'll have solid doors. So we'll probably do a batch of the solid doors first and then move on to the glass doors. They're all the same style, but they all have to be different sizes because the job is a retrofit. The cavities you're left with are just what's there, so you just have to work with what you've got. No, well, I've got a Casio like you, but I've not got an anOrdain yet. Or maybe I'll maybe think about that once the main part of the job is done. I think I'll be maybe a wee bit of a reward.
So I'm Nicky Field. I am an enameller, but I'm currently van driver for the week. So we are currently in the middle of our big move, which has been on the cards for a fair wee while now. Yeah, we've been team packing up all the enamelling studio, porcelain studio, and then come start of September we'll be unpacking and loading into our new space, which is fully kind of custom built for ourselves. So I think I'm just so excited for the move. It's maybe hard to, I think the proximity to the park is really nice, our view is great, the light's great. I think I'll miss it when we move, but everything that we're moving to is a improvement. That there's nothing to say that where we are is bad. It's just I think we're like we're always trying to do with all our processes, is to just refine them a little bit. And I think this is in the same kind of vein. This is like a refinement of our space. It's an upgrade, you know. So now we can kind of look to experiment a bit more again, which I think is something that's Lewis has been wanting us to do for a long time. So it's just finding that balance between production and creativity. And I think the new space is massively going to help that as well. So yeah, it's an exciting time. It's been an exciting time for I think my whole time that I've worked here. So.
I'm Sally and I am a member of the dial production team. So I make the enamel dials, and I also I manage the research and development for the dial team as well. It's a little bit hectic at the moment. We're kind of at the point now where we've moved like 90% of the stuff here, but there isn't, all the space isn't available to put those things in, so we're kind of crawling over boxes at the moment. But it's good. Things are slowly emerging from the chaos. I think one of the best things that's going to come out of it is the fact that everyone's going to be under one roof. So before we started the process of moving, everyone was really scattered across different spaces. And I think the whole ethos of the company is to have this really sort of integrated design process where like everyone who works in the process is all kind of going back and forth with each other constantly. Yeah, literally everything about the space is a massive improvement.
Yeah, this even just simple things like the sinks, just having so many sinks is going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it's kind of switching from this sort of make, do and mend kind of approach to having everything exactly as we kind of designed in order to meet the specific requirements of what we're doing, which is going to be amazing. This morning we've just been building more like bits of furniture, so that again frees up more area that we can actually move things where they need to be. Painting upstairs. We're using this nice lime based paint for upstairs, which kind of gives it a sort of rustic old plaster look.
It's an air exchanger. So in each room you've got an in and an out pipe. So this circulates air and brings clean air from outside into each of the rooms. But it's not. I mean, it's not something I was aware we needed until the architect told me. But it's not turned on yet. But apparently that will make the air quality a lot nicer. In here, this is the door that took 8 people to carry.
Yeah.
Nice. And then it's the safe room in there.
We realised that we had it stood up and we knew the combination but didn't know how to open the door. So 260 kilo doors just stood here with 4 of us around
Googling
it,
how
and
to
Alistair
work
on the
it,
phone to the guy being like, so how do we open the door? And he's like, is there not instructions in the box? And we're like, no. But we learned and we got it in.
Got it, yeah.
And it was great.
And it matches
the
the radiant panels, yeah. This is Douglas fir from Forres, which is up in the Highlands, and it's got sort of linseed oil coating, so it's finished like this. And yeah, it's lovely, kind of slightly reddish colour, but there's white pigment in the
oil.
The oil, so it's sort of makes it slightly less red.
In some
Yeah.
repairs.
The glazing's nice, isn't it? You could just to be
Yeah.
able to kind of feel connected to what everyone else is doing.
I think that's
That's
like
good.
talking about the space and what's nice about it, that we are everything has its own designated space, but they still feel very connected because
Yeah.
there is so much glass. Whereas before you had to go through to get from the design room, you had to go through watchmaking, you had to go through the watchmaking room to get to the kitchen, you had to enamel was in a different room, you know, separated, whereas now everything's, that was the big thing about us all
Planned out,
being
yeah.
together in the one space.
Surprisingly, yeah. I mean, when we first saw this building, it was a bathroom showroom. So, and there are no windows anywhere on any of the walls. All of the lighting was on the roof. These kind of glazing units on the roof, and so yeah, it's a really dingy, horrible place when we got it, because there's all these kind of fake bathrooms with very low ceilings and there's no natural light, and there's water gushing in off the roof in 2 different places. So it was a real tip. But now since these big windows have gone in on the roof, it's a much it feels like a much softer space. I think maybe we're so used to being a lot of glazing around in the old place, but it feels much sort of calmer and just more homely almost.
Yeah.
It's got a good feeling. I had that idea of having the toilet floor covered in broken dials and then resin, but no one's been that keen on that. I just like to do that.
I think we should do it as a welcome sign.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
You could do the logo with the colours.
With the